like doing what you're told? Would you like to be in the army where you are given orders that you have to obey? Soldiers learn that it's important to carry out orders. Jesus met an important soldier in our story today. He was a soldier in the Roman army, and he was called a centurion because he was in charge of 100 men. The Bible doesn't tell us his name, but Jesus was very impressed by him. So today we're going to open the book on the centurion's servant. What shall we do? Let's open the book.
The Roman centurion stood before his soldiers. There were 100 in all, each and every man sworn to do whatever the centurion commanded.
Fetch my sword,
He ordered.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Shouted one of the soldiers, and he was off in a flash.
Fetch my shield.
He added,
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
and he ran off to fetch it.
Forward, march.
He shouted, once everything was ready.
Yes, sir.
Right away, sir.
Answered each and every man, and they marched off together through the streets of Capernaum. The centurion was used to giving orders, and he was used to being obeyed, not only by his men, but by the people of Capernaum as well. For the Romans were in charge of that city and all the land where Jesus lived, a land they had taken by force and now ruled with a cruel hand. One day, the centurion went home to hear some bad news. His servant was ill, unable to move, and in great pain. The centurion felt sorry for his servant, but for all his power, there was nothing he could do, no order he could give to make that pain go away. So the centurion went to see Jesus. He'd heard that Jesus made sick people well, and so his request was simple.
Help me, sir.
He said.
My servant is terribly ill.
The people standing around Jesus wondered what he would do. This centurion and his soldiers had bullied them and stolen from them and pushed them around. Would Jesus do for this man what he had for so many others? But there was no question in Jesus' mind. He had taught his followers to love everyone, even their enemies. How could he do any less?
I will go and heal him.
He said. And then the centurion said something that
No.
surprised them all.
No.
He said. Could it be he was remembering all the cruel things he had done?
I don't deserve to have you visit my house. But I do know this. I am a man with power and authority. I tell my soldiers to fetch this, and they do it, saying, yes, sir, right away, sir. I tell them to fetch something else, and the answer's the same. Yes, sir, right away, sir. And when I order them to march, they obey. Yes, sir, right away, sir. You have power too. Power over sickness. So all you need to do is give the order, and I know that my servant will be healed.
Jesus turned to those around him, amazed.
This man trusts me. He really does. I have not found this kind of trust, even among our own people. And I'm telling you the truth when I say that people, just like this man, people from all over the world, will one day be part of all that God is doing. But they do not trust me. And because of that, some of our own people will miss out.
Then he turned to the centurion and said,
Go. All that you hope for will happen.
And at that very hour, the centurion's servant was healed.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Isn't it good that Jesus came for people all over the world, and not just the people that lived in Israel thousands of years ago? If you had a friend or someone in your family who was ill, wouldn't you want to help? If you know someone who's not well, close your eyes and think about them now. Think about anything you could do to help them. Just close your eyes for a minute. Now I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you for all the people like doctors and nurses who work very hard to make people better. Please be with any children who may be away from school today because they are poorly, and please make them better too. Amen.